everyone, welcome to the OklaRoots YouTube channel. Today's tutorial is a little different. Today's tutorial is not a sewing tutorial. I know, brace yourselves, we're gonna be okay. So if you've been following me on Instagram for the last couple months, you know that there was a bracelet by Kendra Scott that I was just swooning over. Now, this is the bracelet, and it is so colorful, it is so fun, but it was $68, which I'm sorry, for me, that is just too much money for a fun bracelet. But being a DIYer, I decided that I could probably make my own version of this bracelet. So, ba-bam, I did. And I actually like this DIY version better. So let's take a closer look. So this was my first attempt at the bracelet. These are just these colorful rainbow clay discs. You can get them in a variety of sizes, colors. They're all over the place. I'm going to have links galore for you guys, don't worry. I have a lot of fun options here to customize this bracelet. One of the things I like most about this bracelet is that we use this jewelry wire. So this is a bracelet that does not have to clasp, which means it will fit any sized wrist. You can put this on a child and it will fit them. You can put this on somebody with a bigger wrist and it will fit them. I love that. I love that this will fit anybody. Another thing I love about this bracelet is the thing I love about making anything is that it is highly customizable. So you can see for this one, rainbow. I love every single color out there. I love rainbow everything. So of course the first bracelet I made was going to be a rainbow bracelet. You could make this with just a couple colors for sports teams, for your university. In today's tutorial, I'm actually going to show you how to make a red, white, and blue one, hence the shirt today, to get you set up for 4th of July. I've ordered a plethora of different types of charms, which I will show you more of once we go in the top down. So if you're new to the channel, please consider clicking subscribe down below. If at any point you like this video, please give it a like. Any questions, comments, any other suggestions you want to make, please leave them in the comment section down below. I should have told you this at the beginning, but I am not a jewelry maker. I don't make it normally. I don't sell it. So if you have alternate ideas on better ways to do what I'm doing today, please leave them down in the comment section and we'll try to bump those up for you. As with every single tutorial I put out there, it is a learning experience for you and I both. I am not here to just talk at you. I'm here to learn from you. So any assistance you have, any other ideas, leave them down in the comment section. I will appreciate it and everybody else watching the video will also appreciate that. All right, let's get started. So let's talk about all this stuff. The first thing you're gonna need is this jewelry wire. Now I got mine off of Amazon. This is fairly inexpensive and you get a lot of it. I think I actually got 2 of these giant slinky-like things. You don't need much for the project, so you can make a ton of bracelets with this jewelry wire. You're also gonna need some jewelry pliers. Now we're gonna be folding this wire and you wanna be as precise as possible with it, so these small needle nose pliers are very helpful. You're going to need the beads. Now, these beads you can get all over the place. These red, white, and blue beads are 6mm clay beads. I got them from an Etsy shop called Swoon and Shimmer. I'll have a link for them down in the description of this video. So here is a second version of this bracelet that I made, and this is with 4mm clay beads, so you can see the difference in the size. These 4mm Etsy beads are from a shop called Crystals by the Piece on Etsy. I will also have a link for these items down in the description. One of the things I really love from the Kendra Scott bracelet, besides the multicolor, are these touches of gold. In order to do that, I got these jump rings. Now, jump rings are used in jewelry making to connect to items, but they also offer a really nice flash of gold to the bracelet. When using jump rings, you can get a variety of sizes. I do suggest using the same size as whatever bead you're using. So if you're using a 6mm clay bead, make sure you're using a 6mm jump ring. If you use a 4mm clay bead and a 6mm jump ring, these jump rings are just gonna go over the beads. Trust me, I know, I did it, I made the mistake. If you prefer to buy an assortment of clay beads instead of by the strand, Amazon has this great option, and this is what I started with my first bracelet. Another fun option for this bracelet are these beaded letters you can put in your sports team, your name, any other type of message you're trying to send with your bracelet. I've been having a ton of fun using these letter beads in my bracelets. And to make our bracelets just a little bit extra, I ordered an assortment of these fun little dangles to add to the bracelet. Now all of these bracelet editions are from Jabber Gems on Etsy, except the lobster clasp. The lobster clasps are from Amazon, and I'll show you how to use those in just a minute. But you can see these are so fun to add to your bracelet. I've added 2 on this rainbow bracelet here. I added 1 on my little beachy bracelet. Since I'm doing the red, white, and blue bracelet today for 4th of July, I'll be using this little American flag star. All right, so let's talk about how we start the bracelet. What I like to do is pull off about 3 or 4 rings from this jewelry wire. So you can make this bracelet as many loops as you want. I kind of like the 2 loop look, but if you want to go bigger or go smaller, you do you, but just cut off more than you're going to need. So take your little pliers, and they should have some nice cutters on the bottom, and just cut your wire just like that. You can put your little slinky over to the side for now. As you can see in this first bracelet here, I just wrapped the wire around about 2 of those clay beads. It's kind of a messy look, but honestly, I'm completely okay with it. You can see in this beachy bracelet here, what I did was I pinched the end of the wire and then tucked the edge into one of my letter beads and then just kind of pushed it in there, and that helps hold it all in place without having anything poking you. For today's tutorial, I'm going to be using this clear bead on the end. The rule here is that you want to make sure whatever you use on the end is not smaller than the inner circle of your clay beads, because if it is, then the clay beads will just fall right off of it. This is a good size, so I'm just going to wrap my wire and tuck it into this end bead right here. To do this, I'm going to slide my end bead on to the end of my wire. Now, you can take the wire and fold it around your bead and then tuck the edge in on the other side so that it gets covered up by the clay beads. Or you can take your wire and just fold it like this, as tight as you can get it, and then pinch it down as flat as you can, and then take your bead and slide it over that rough edge just like this. Now you can pinch it a little bit more to flatten it out. And there you go. Now you have a bead that will stop the clay discs from going off the edge, and it is enclosed on the edge of your bracelet. This is probably where I struggle the most, so if any of you guys have suggestions on how to finish this edge in a cleaner way, I would be very grateful if you leave it down in the comment section down below. All right, so now the fun part. We're gonna add some of our clay beads. Now I have 3 colors here because I'm doing red, white, and blue. If you don't want to deal with mixing up the colors, the Etsy shop, Swoon and Shimmer, they do sell strands like this that have an assortment of colors. So all you'd have to do is cut the edge and then just feed them onto your bracelet, and you would have a beautiful design. Maybe add a few gold jump rings here and there. But this could save you a lot of time if you just don't want to figure out the order of your colors. So I have my jump rings, my clay beads, my wire that has the bead already attached to the end. So all I did was take the beads off of those strands so that they're nice and loose in here. And when I add the beads, I like to add them in anywhere from 2 to 4 beads at a time. I kind of just grab like a few in my finger and then add them on. So for example, here I've got 3 blues and now I've got 4 whites. And then I'll do just 2 reds and a jump ring. And I'll just keep adding these until I have a couple loops all ready to go. So you can see this is just the beginning, but I'll just keep adding them on like this, just kind of mixing up the order, red, white, blue, white, red. Just keep going around like that, adding jump rings as I go. And once I'm about halfway through, then I'm gonna look at adding my charm. So let me get there and then I'll show you what we do. Okay, I would say I'm about halfway done, so let's start talking about the charm. You have a few different ways to add this charm. You can add this charm directly to the wire, and it will end up something like this. Now you can see the charm is just going to be facing in one direction, and it's going to be pretty stiff. However, you really don't have to worry about this charm coming off at all. It is not going to go anywhere. But when you wear it, it will kind of stick out, and it won't dangle quite as nice as you might like. Another option is to add this charm directly to one of your jump rings. Now you already have a bunch of jump rings on here, so you can add it to one you already have, or you can add it to a jump ring and then add it to your bracelet. I use that method with this charm here, and you can see that it provides a little bit more of a dangle without sticking out too far. A third option is to add a jump ring to a lobster clasp and then add your charm to that jump ring. This allows you to remove the charm and change it on your bracelets whenever you want. I use that method on this little shell with the pearl in it right here, and while it does dangle just a little bit more than the second method, I do like that I could just take this off and put it, say, on my little beachy bracelet, and it's no big deal. I don't have to buy another charm or make a whole new bracelet if I want to switch my charms around. So it's totally your preference. Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the lobster clasp, the jump ring, and the charm. Now these jump rings I'm linking you to down in the description have a cut in them. When you're opening at that cut, don't pull the jump ring open like this. You twist it to the side. So we're just moving the two edges to the sides, not apart from one another. So you can see here, I just moved the jump rings to the side, not away. So now I'm just going to add my lobster clasp, and I'm going to add my charm, and then I'm going to go ahead and close this up by using my pliers and just boop, tucking them right back in. Now I will say, this method, there is a chance that if this gets snagged on something while you're wearing it, that jump ring will open up and it will break. That's a very real possibility. The only way to avoid that is just to add the charm directly to the jewelry wire, but if you're gentle with your bracelet, it shouldn't be a big deal. So now I can just add this to the bracelet by sliding it on, or if I want a different place, I can just open up my lobster clasp, find a location for it, and clasp it on. So now I have this beautiful charm on my bracelet. And the nice thing is, if I decide I want to remove the charm, I can remove it at any point and I can use it somewhere else. So now that I have my charm attached, I'm just going to do another go around with beads to give this a 2-layer look, and then I'll show you how to wrap up the bracelet. So once you've added enough beads and you're happy with how your bracelet's looking, let's go ahead and finish this up. Now, once again, I'm going to be using this clear bead right here. I will tell you that these beads break. I had much better luck using the alphabet beads, which are a little bit more heavy duty, but to keep it concise, I'm going to do this. So whatever you choose to be your last bead, whether it's just some more clay beads or a plastic bead, go ahead and add that on to the open end of your bracelet and slide it all the way around. Now, you can go ahead and push all of your beads so that it's tight, but not super tight. You don't need to worry about anything breaking. It's okay if they move around a little bit. You just want it to be as tight as you can have it, and then just pinch it to that wire. Grab your pliers and fold down the wire right by that last bead. It can be just about 1/4 of an inch away from that last bead, just enough to get your pliers to wrap around like that. There we go. So this should be what you have now. It's kind of, the excess is just folded off to the side, and you have a nice fold right here to help keep all your beads in place. What we're going to do now is we're going to cut about 3/8 to 1/2 of an inch away from that last bead on the wire after the fold. So the point of the fold is to keep everything in place while we work on this. So I'm just going to go in with my pliers and cut my wire. So you can see this is what I have right now. I kind of have this jagged edge hanging off the side, and my beads are all secure in place. Now, the reason I said don't make them too tight before is because now we actually do have to kind of push them pretty tight. So push those beads down, and what we're going to do is we're going to twist this edge that's open down into our beads, and then just pinch, just like we did on the beginning of this. Just pinch as much as you can. We're trying to get the raw, jagged edge of that metal wire to go into our beads. And then you can kind of push your beads up so that they cover that edge so you don't have to worry about getting scratched. And there you go. Now you have this beautiful, easy, 30-minute knockoff of a much more expensive bracelet that will fit any wrist size. One of the things I love most about DIY, about jewelry and bags and sewing, is that it allows us to express ourselves without us having to say anything. For example, 4th of July is coming up, so of course, red, white, and blue is very fun, it's very festive. However, I am the daughter of 2 retired Air Force air traffic controllers. I'm very, very proud of the hard work my mom and dad put into this country so that we could be safer, so that we could have more success and more opportunities, more freedoms. Because of their hard work, I get to live close to the beach in Florida. I get to live in a safe community. My parents taught me to respect and love every single person in this country and in this world and celebrate our differences at all times. And they also taught me that the work never ends. We can always be better, we can always work harder, and we can always take care of each other more. So here we go. Here is our super fun 4th of July red, white, and blue bracelet with our fun little charm on the bottom. This is a great 30-minute project to make with your family, to make for friends as gifts. It's a great way to celebrate things going on in your life. As creators, we oftentimes have a hard time putting our feelings and our thoughts and our emotions into words, but we put them into what we make. And sometimes what we do and what we make speaks louder than what we say. So this is one of those great crafts to do that with. I hope that you enjoyed today's tutorial. I hope that you go out and make a bunch of these bracelets. Don't forget that if you do make them, please tag me on social media. I would love to see what you do. Also, if you are a jewelry maker, please leave comments down below correcting us sewers and what we're doing. 2020 has been a year where we have had a lot thrown our way. However, I don't look at it as a year that I just want to get through and forget about. 2020 is a year that is a pivotal moment for all of us. We're all learning how to take care of ourselves more, how to be healthier, and how to take care of others more. I think on the other side of this, we're all going to be such better people, and we're going to create such a better environment for all of us and our future generations. You guys know how much you all mean to me and how much the community that we're in means to me. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of your day-to-day. I hope you have a great rest of the week. Get out there and make something.